Een afscheidsgeschenk. Ik weet dat u waarschijnlijk de afgelopen... Een bijzondere welkom ook aan de familie voor de aanwezigheid. For me, what is very important is that 2 weeks ago they arrived here in the military hospital when it was dark, literally behind screens with a mask on, and now 2 weeks later they can leave in all serenity, without any risk, in the open, without a mask, and walk out through the front door. So for us that is a big success. Question. Let's say the first contact they have is with the nurses and the doctors. We did have psychologists, but let's say more behind the screens. What kind of a reaction could we expect? What would their concerns be now at this stage and at this stage? What we didn't receive was really questions to be able to see psychologists. We didn't have that. I think in the beginning the main issue was reassurance. They were anxious, of course, especially after the news that one of their the people they traveled with was tested positive. Mm-hmm. So that was a bit of a difficult period, but okay, they tested negative on the first test, on the second test. So very quickly it goes from anxiety to okay, how do we cover these 2 weeks?
J'avais mon téléphone, donc ça suffit. Pour d'autres personnes qui ne pouvaient pas travailler. Normally I live in Beijing, but I was in Wuhan to cover the virus, of course, and the lockdown of the city. I arrived on the first day of the lockdown, and then very soon found out that I wasn't able to leave anymore and to go back to Beijing, where I wanted to continue the reporting on the spread of the virus through China. Then the Belgian embassy called us after a few days saying that they were trying to organize an evacuation and to ask if I would be interested to participate. And of course I answered that I was interested because that was actually my only option to leave the city. And I felt immediately, 2 weeks in a hospital, that's going to be long. But after one day, because of the people who work here, I started feeling at home actually. They were great. The doctors, the nurses, they give us so much information. They treat us like guests, not like patients. They listen to all our questions, to all our needs. And from the second day we could go out a little bit, so we could walk into a corridor and use 2 communal rooms, wearing a mask and keeping a distance of 2 meters from each other. And disinfecting the hands, so that became a real habit, but that made it also much easier to deal with those 2 weeks. There was some social interaction,